Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? I know I did for several years before I actually started. I had so many questions. How do I record? Do I need a fancy microphone? Do I need expensive cameras? Do I need to hire somebody? Do I need editing software? Do I need a studio? Do I need a website to, distribute this? How do I pay for a website and hosting? How do I get people to listen? How do I make money? And I struggle with this, and all those questions are the reason why it took me forever to just start. And the awesome thing is that Anchor solves all these questions. They answer all these questions. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. It's ridiculous. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. I'm just in my third episode in, and this is my first ad, and they're giving me $10 for this ad. It's only $10, but it's a start, and it will lead to more. So if you always wanted to start a podcast and aim to make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start in order to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. Can't wait to hear you. Hello. I'm back. Kyle High Club. This is fourth episode, I guess. And this is Saturday. I know I said I try to do these every Monday, but I got some time to kill right now between things. And got some things on my mind, and I want to talk about some important shit today. And so let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about, I think, is a very important subject that has shaped the minds of all generation, or maybe not all generations, but the last couple generations of kids, and has brainwashed them to start out their lives. And this important subject, an event in a lot of our lives back in like kindergarten, preschool, early elementary days, is show and tell. Super important. Not really, but seriously, I think it kind of fucked us up a little bit as children and as kids, especially those susceptible to the influence of others and their peers and wanting to do things just so other people will like you, or think you're cool, or the badass out there, or whatever. You didn't really think that so much in kindergarten, but just think of it. Just think of what the act of show and tell is. So the teacher tells you, okay, you guys need to bring something home and talk about it in front of the class. So you literally grab something, and you stand in front of your peers and literally brag about whatever the fuck you brought. Whether it's like a fucking, I don't know, a medal you won, or a trophy, or I don't know, what did people bring? See, I never actually participated. I mean, I'm probably sure I did, but I don't remember participating in show and tell, because I always thought it was fucking stupid. It is literally just bragging. And we're teaching children how to brag about the shit they have. And of course the shit they have, they never earned. Unless if it was like a medal, or like you... But like at that age, you're not competing in anything serious that deserves a medal, You might maybe be in a flag football league if you win the championship and you got a trophy. Okay, cool. I'm down with that. That's a cool thing. Or maybe if you're doing martial arts and you're like 5 and you won the tournament and for some reason they allow you to beat other 5-year-olds up, which I don't think they do. Cool, but what the fuck do you have at 5 and 6 years old that's fucking awesome that you need to show people and tell them about that you earned and you did yourself? And it's not a toy or something your parents bought you and you're privileged and nice to have, you know? I don't know. I always thought it was silly. It's literally teaching people at a young age. And the only reason I'm thinking about this now is because I know some people that are older than me or, you know, grown adults, quote unquote, but they have childish mindsets and, you know, really, I don't know, really don't think about anything, but like, they try to do things just so other people will like them, which I mean is cool. I mean, yeah, everybody wants friends. I want friends, everybody. I mean, without friends, life sucks. But you should not be curtailing your every actions and everything you say just because you want everybody in the entire world to like you. You're not gonna quote unquote find yourself or find you're just who you are as an individual. And I don't know, I just thought it was always silly. I think even back then when you're literally just standing up there showing something you have or something your parents probably bought you and you're telling the class about it and you're doing it trying to get like an applause after, or like, oh cool, that's a cool thing, and then like maybe somebody will come talk to you about it, like, oh that's a cool little gadget you had that, you know, you like or whatever. Or, you know, girls would bring in like their My Little Pony or some shit, and, you know, the guys would just be like, well, what the fuck? Like, it's a fucking My Little Pony. Like, no one cares. But, you know, and then but other girls would probably be like, oh my god, that's a cool one. Like, how'd you get that? And, you know, maybe they make friends, so maybe that was cool, yeah. But I think just on the premise basis, and especially at a young age, it's really weird. You just get up there and just brag about either your cool deeds, which is cool, but like there's no need to brag about it. Or it's like sanctioned bragging, where teachers are telling you, hey, stand up here and do a performance and let us know how cool your thing is or uncool. If nobody likes it, then you're probably going to be an outcast and you will have no friends. I don't know. The only reason I bring it up is because I feel like some people still have this show and tell life, you know. They only do things to buy the nice car or the new, you know, the biggest TV or the new video game or, I don't know, new apartment, whatever it is. It can be anything. You know, they're just living that show and tell life. They're trying to show you what they got. You know, they wear jewelry and rings, expensive shit, and like, which is cool. I mean, if you like to be fashionable, I get it. I like to look good too. But I'm not gonna spend, you know, an exorbitant amount of money on it. You know, maybe I will if I become like a billionaire. I mean, then everything's relative at that point. But I don't know. I feel like, and especially with social media and like, especially like Instagram, you know, people don't post bad pictures of themselves on Instagram. Nobody's showing themselves as soon as they wake up, you know, eye bags underneath, tired, and maybe even like depressed looking, their hair's all messy. Nobody posts Instagram pictures like that. Maybe you get some Snapchat pictures like that from your friends, like, oh, look how ugly I am this morning. I mean, I don't get pictures like that from my guy friends, but I don't know. Maybe girls do that. I don't know. But yeah, no one's, and I do it myself. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna put some. I mean, I don't really care. If you look through my Instagram, you could tell like I don't give a fuck. Uh, like you could tell, oh, this guy is an ugly fuck. He doesn't care. Like his room's messy. He doesn't care. Whatever. I don't care how people see me. This is me. If you don't like me, then I'm sorry. I guess I'm not even sorry. It's just a you thing. And that sounds cocky, and it definitely is, and makes me sound like an asshole. But I like me. I know I'm not perfect. I know I have flaws. I know I'm very bad at communicating with people. But I do my best, and I think that's all you can ask of anyone, and that's all I would ask of anybody out of all of my friends or any past relationships I've had, the many countless of people I've came across in my life, and even just my parents. Like, I don't expect my parents to be perfect people. I don't expect my siblings to be perfect people, or my grandparents, or my uncles, or aunts. Nobody's perfect. People have bad shit about them, but everybody has flaws. So, I mean, if you don't like me, that's cool. Whatever. That doesn't mean I instantly don't like you. I mean, probably off the bat, I'll be like, yeah, fuck you. But I mean, if we talk and you seem cool, then I'll probably like you. But if you don't have much to offer, then I don't know. I don't really dislike anybody. I can be around anybody. And if you don't like me, that's cool. That's whatever. But don't show and tell me your fucking life. That's all I'm trying to get at. I don't want to hear about your new shit or this or that or this thing. I mean, I like cool things and gadgets, and I can go down some wormholes on certain things. And maybe it's me just not respecting certain things or instead of going down this rabbit hole, this other person goes down this rabbit hole with the interest, and our interests just don't line up. That happens. That's that's cool. That's fine. That's just how we are as people. Everyone likes different things, is interested in different things, and that's okay. That's all right. Just because you like watching, I don't know, soap operas doesn't, and I like watching fucking cage fighting. That doesn't mean we can't get along as people and have rational conversations about anything. Maybe we just shouldn't talk about soap operas. And then I won't talk about fighting. If you don't like talking about fighting, that's fine. But we can all find some kind of human ground. That's all. Yeah, so fuck show and tell. And I'm getting kind of excited. I'm gonna stay a little more on a positive note. I was about to go on some conspiracy level shit, but fuck that. That's just not fun. It's just another rabbit hole that, even if it is all true, like, who cares? Can't really change it, to be honest. Or at least that's how I feel now. But anyways, I'm about to, I just video chatted with some of my best friends yesterday. It was pretty cool. Haven't seen them. I mean, I saw some of them a couple months ago. I guess that was 4 or 5 months ago. Back in Boston for my friends. We had a surprise engagement party. So that was a good time. So I saw most of them there. But yeah, we just talked video chat through the phones and shit, or computers. Lots of I'm just kind of rambling. But yeah, we just settled bachelor plans, and super excited. And I guess we're going to be going on a cruise, I think. I mean, I don't really give a fuck what we do. The first plan was to go to Vegas and stuff, but the guy that's getting married, he doesn't want to go to strip clubs or prostitutes or anything like that, which is fine. I understand that. I guess it'll be expensive, but I mean, cruise will be equally expensive. But the one we found's pretty good, and during July 4th weekend, and I think we'll be leaving out of Miami, and I forget where we're going. We're going somewhere south, I think somewhere down to the islands. I don't really care, I just want to hang out with my buds, and just, honestly, just hang out with them, and fucking, maybe meet some chicks. It'll be hard, I think we'll have to, share, like, a cabin with each other, so I guess we can just, take turns, or have, like, a huge bachelor going away party orgy in the cabins, but probably not. Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen these guys in a while. It'd still be a couple months, but we just basically finalized plans yesterday. The groomsmen had just kind of been talking between ourselves without talking to the groom, and we had some ideas flow, and then we kind of came up with what we thought he would like to do for the best. It's really about what he wants to do, and he just wants to hang out, chill, drink, kind of get fucked up. He's not interested in, like, fucking, cheating on his girlfriend / fiance / wife. Understandable. Any good man want it. But yeah, it was good talking to them, and fucking getting more excited about it, because initially I was like, really, we're gonna go on a fucking cruise? I've never been on a cruise, so I was coming from a very biased standpoint, and just from what I've heard some people say, and like, really, we're gonna go on a cruise? We're gonna be trapped on a fucking boat, and I don't know how long we'll be in the water. I know we're visiting a couple cities, so I think most of the time we'll actually be off the boat, actually enjoying the little tourist locations of these. I think we're going to the islands. I'm not sure which ones. I should probably look this up, but I don't care, really. Honestly, I'm just going to hang out with them, have a good time, maybe meet some lady friends, just have a blast. And I don't know, but initially my thoughts were like, what the fuck, this sounds terrible, like, I might get seasick, or what's the food gonna be like? Is it gonna be like shitty buffet food, or, I feel like that's how a lot of bad movies end, like the Titanic. That Titanic ended, that was basically a cruise for, like, super rich people back in the day. It was the first time they kind of did it. I mean, I guess they've had large-scale boats and stuff like that, but, that was essentially the cruise, the Titanic, and they all died. So yeah, I don't want to die in the middle of the ocean. Like, if the fucking ship breaks, I'm dead. I could probably hold on to, like, some wreckage for a little bit, but I'm dead. I'm just going to assume anything in any of those scenarios, I die, so that way if I miraculously do survive somehow, it's just like, oh, okay, I can, you have to be all in the moment, if you survive one of those, like the Titanic, like, you, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just like, any catastrophic event, I'd be like, well, one, I'm fucked no matter what, but you're also kind of lucky. You're like, wow, I'm still fucking alive after that shit. Like, all the burdens and stress of anything would go away. It'd almost be like a fucking psychedelic trip or something, be like taking DMT. But who knows? I don't think I've been in any, life-threatening situations where I thought I was gonna die. I've definitely been in close accidents where it's like, yeah, if I hit that guy or if they hit me, I don't know if I would have died, but I'd be pretty fucked up. Um, I don't know if I don't know. So many things have happened, you just forget them. And I won't remember until probably a week later and be like, oh yeah, remember that time that guy tried to stab me in the face? I don't think that happened, but who knows? Yeah, oh, the only reason I started talking about the cruise and my friends is because I had a note written down here, for the notes I'm trying to take in between these podcasts, just to, keep ideas of kind of what I want to touch base on. It's not even stuff I want to touch base on, it's just stuff that, like, in the moment I'm like, wow, this is a very complicated subject, and like this person's not giving the whole viewpoint, or they're only saying it for one side and not the other, or the other side, or they're not talking about the middle ground or whatever. They're not looking for compromises. But honestly, it's just, so it kind of just helped me, I don't know, just keep it going, I guess. But yeah, I had a note written down here that says DJs today are nothing more than glorified button pushers. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of true today. I know some DJs still, they play the song and then they'll still scratch the disc and all that, play with the bass and the treble and all the other things. I'm not too deep into music. Those are the only things I know, honestly. But as far as like some of and the only reason I wrote this down is because, and why I mentioned the cruise is because our best man for the wedding coming up for my friend was basically, we were just looking at cruise packages, and he was like making sure, he was like, oh, this one's got sick DJs and like a glow party. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't give a fuck if a cruise has a sweet DJ, bro. The fuck? It's called a computer and press play. Like, I don't give a fuck if this cruise has a dope DJ. Like, I'm worried about, like, do they have good food? And is there gonna be drinks? And is it gonna be, how expensive will the drinks be? And can I smoke weed? Of course I can't smoke weed. It's fucking bullshit. But we'll figure something out. Wink wink. And I don't know. But I was just being an asshole thinking of that. DJ, if you're a DJ and you make money and that's how you live, or you want to become a DJ, I say fucking do it. I'm not trying to shit on your dreams or anything. But from my standpoint, I think I could do it. If I could do it, then can't be that good. Can't be that real. I'm just kidding. I don't think highly of myself. But I guess okay, so I think I accidentally cut this off earlier. I'm not really sure where I left off because, again, this is Kyle High Club and I'm high, so I forgot. But yeah, who cares what the fuck I was talking about earlier? But I'm in the mood right now. I didn't want to fucking stop the flow I was feeling. I was already 20 minutes in, so I'm not gonna like delete that and start over. Start a whole hour again. I'll just probably do another 30 minutes or so, and just see what comes up. But because I really wanted to talk about this next subject, I had written down, and it's about governing people, and just how kind of just how it is laid out today, or at least it looks how the methods are being laid out today. Through a casual observer's eye, I don't really pay too much attention, honestly, because I think it's all bullshit. It doesn't affect my day-to-day life as long as I, the individual Kyle Porter, am allowed to walk down the street, go to my job, put in my time, do my work, come home, get paid. I can go to the grocery store, buy food, go buy shit at fucking Dick's Sporting Goods. I just picked up some weight equipment or whatever. I can go to a movie. It doesn't matter. Like, none of the daily shit that goes on in politics affects my daily life, and I think it doesn't affect most of our daily lives. I can't speak for most people. I'm just myself. But yeah, just the way I think the strategy of how we govern right now, and this isn't from the left or the right or the Republican or Democrat side. It's from both sides, and I don't think there's two sides. I think there's one fucking side, and they just play. It's just a theater to pretend that there's two sides, to get us to talk about it and to waste our time in talking about things that don't matter on the grand scheme of things, while these people, close the doors at the end of the day, and they're plotting on who, which country to go to war with next, which country to take over next, which country we invade from oil or natural resources or whatever it is. Who knows? Or, there was some talk of, the president literally stated, I don't know anything that's going on in Venezuela or what. I don't know how the current standard is, what the people think, anything. I don't know anything about it, but no matter what, president stated this person, we support X person, and from my understanding, that person is not actually in power there. It's really ran by Y person. I don't even know the names, so obviously don't take my opinion too hard because I don't know the details, but from a bird's eye view, I don't think it's good to just, maybe the guy that's in power is fucking awful, and I think he is. I think that's what I've been hearing. I don't pay attention to it, but just the fact that he openly, publicly stated essentially an overthrow or a coup against another foreign nation that has their own boundaries, own laws, own innocent people, own citizens, whatever. I'm sure he portrayed it through an eye of these people suck and we should make it right. Their people are suffering. Well, that's bullshit. Because we still have people suffering here. And, I haven't seen anybody anywhere talk about it. Except for, I don't know, man. Except for very hidden resources. Nobody in the mainstream media is talking about potentially going to war with Venezuela. It's not like we'd go to war. We would just do some operations there, some media relations stuff, and probably send some Black Ops forces, maybe a couple forces down there, throw some drones and and take over their shit and basically run another country. I don't know. But the way, and this is what I really wanted to get at, the way they govern us, at least the United States, and I think most governments, and the most governments for history, they govern through fear. And it's because fear is the best fucking motivation. You're scared of something, either you're gonna lie down and quit, or you're gonna fucking fight it, or do your best to fight it. Whatever your definition of fighting is, and whatever capacity you can do it in, But, if you look back to, I don't know, I don't know the exact history of when first government started, but like if you just look at when kings ruled. My fucking door's unlocked. Let me lock that real quick, or I get assassinated. But back when kings ruled, and they ruled with an iron fist, and even dictators today, they rule and get away with the rules because they're able to, fear people into not, into obeying them, because of fear of the consequences of, either taking away their job, their livelihood, their life, their wife, whatever it is, X, Y, or Z. But I think really, as I was saying earlier, these things that the government or anybody on a political sense is talking about don't affect my day-to-day life. They do not affect the individual, at least in this country. There's no excuse in this country anymore. Yes, there's bad areas, there's poverty-stricken areas, there's areas, with crime and, gang violence and just a radical cycle of people being thrown in jails when they shouldn't have been, and, they're getting arrested for, like, a fucking joint on them and, can't make bail. Yes, we have those problems, yes. And I'm saying we should fix these problems. But for the most part in this country, they really have no control over the individual, especially with, as long as you, have the ability to work, you don't have a disability that limits you in a mental or physical way to make money or provide a service or sell a service or make a good that somebody finds valuable, or you just are employed by somebody and you give them your time, as long as you're able to work in some capacity, they don't really have any control over us, I mean, yes, you have control, in what, I mean, there's laws, obviously, you're not, we all agree on, we shouldn't, murder, steal, rape, whatever, all the terrible acts that, some humans do, it's fucked up, but that's why there's laws in place to get, make sure that those people are dealt with, but as long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, there's nothing, they don't really control you on an individual basis directly. I mean, you can go to the store and buy your food, then you can come home and watch whatever you could want in the fucking world, or you can go on a hike, or you could fucking, join a gym, or whatever, go to the club, do whatever you want to do, ever that you could ever think of ever in human history. You can fucking do it. Or you can just sit and watch other people do it. It's crazy. And we have so much free time, and like, I don't know where I'm going with it, but like, they really don't control us, and the only way they can control us, and while I said it was fear earlier, the main way is you gotta put us into groups. It's the only way to control, because you can't control the individual. You can't control me, You can't. I mean, yes, I get paid by a job and I work for a corporation, and there's certain things that if I said at work, I get fired. But yeah, of course, duh. You shouldn't say fucked up things at work. You shouldn't do fucked up things at work. You shouldn't fuck up at work, But that's not mean I'm being controlled, I do essentially whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, besides when I go to work, But when I'm going to work, I'm just playing a computer. And I don't mind it. It's kind of fun fixing computer issues because I'm fucking weird, That's how my brain works. I like finding the missing the missing component that's fucking everything up, because I'm trying to find that in my own brain. And that's why that's why I'm talking into a microphone, talking shit about nothing while being high. Because whatever, man. But the only way they can control us is by putting us into groups, you know. It starts with Republican, Democrat. You know, they put themselves into groups. They're like, okay, well, they're going to be see, this is how it works. If it was one party, we would all hate the entire party. We'd hate it all. The entire system. We'd say this system sucks. We have to get rid of it. Everyone in there is corrupt. That's how you look at it. So they're like, okay, we'll have two parties. Republican, Democrat, donkey, elephant. You know, this is from the beginning of time. You know, this isn't really so much like a evil genius cabal effort. It might be so nowadays. People are kind of more aware of it. But, like, it's just human nature, really, too. It's the only way. We are very social group beings. And we kind of get controlled like pests, or, you know, like a beehive by a queen bee. You know, if someone's a little more confident and knows a little bit more than us, we'll follow them. We're like, oh yeah, I'm on team queen bee, or I'm on team Republican, I'm on team Democrat, because I think the people in charge ahead of me that I assume to be better, or know more, or have a better capacity of thinking things through logically, or based on data, or even on an ethical standpoint, you know, if ethics are involved. And we flock to these people. I do it myself. You know, I flock to people that I find common things in, who think that, you know, trying to better yourself every day is a positive thing to do. And you should work towards something. It really doesn't matter what it is, as long as you work towards something. You know, I don't like being around people that are like, fuck it, what's the point? Like, let's just drink and party ourselves to death. No. I like partying for a reason, and having a reason to go out and celebrate, instead of celebrating because I'm gonna die someday. No, I like to earn it. And that's just the way I see the world. And I try to flock towards people that look at the world the same way, because I think that is beneficial for me. Now, you can have a completely different opinion, that's fine. Okay, we won't get along, whatever. But, you know, knowing that we are very susceptible to put into groups, people in power that know that as well. They're not dumb. Some of them are, yes, but they're not dumb. You know, they're good at manipulating, and they know, as I know, it's easier to manipulate people in a group than when you're trying to talk to 100 individuals. You know, you can't face-to-face convince somebody of something that they don't agree on. I don't know. It's just easier if you get all their peers around them, and everyone who thinks like them to think that, or you say you're the champion of that group. I'm the champion of the Democrats, and this is what I think. Okay, I'm a Democrat. Okay, so I think that too, because all my friends do, and that's what the champion thinks, and that's what the Lord Democrat wants, you know, or the Lord Democrats, or the Lords want. So yes. Or you think of that in the Republican side, it's the same shit. And because they know they can't control us on an individual level. That's why there's people out there doing podcasts and shit, and doing, you know, YouTube videos, and making fucking money just straight from, you know, donations from everyday people, or, you know, eventually advertisers get in there, and they're not really, you know, they're kind of in tie with the government, but, like, some aren't. Like, they're just trying to throw you some money because they're like, okay, I like your message. or they just know people watch, so they're trying to get some money too. They're trying to get in on your shit, which is fine. But the only way they can control us is by putting us into groups, Republican, Democrat, red, blue, white, black, homosexual, heterosexual, even this, Americans, foreigners, Americans, aliens, whatever, all the groups. There's so many groups. And, that's the only way they can get us pitting back and forth against each other. Arguing at each other how we're literally just arguing. You're arguing with your neighbors and your coworkers about governments and politics and how it should be ran. But, none of us ordinary people have a say or, really a voice on how it works. We're just arguing back and forth and pissing each other off and just making us stand more and more to our guns, so to speak, in a metaphorical sense, even maybe in a literal sense. But it's, it's because there's these. So I got cut off fucking again because some fucking unknown number cut me off. Fucking stupid. And I was talking some good shit. I didn't even realize I got cut off. It's fucking bullshit. But I guess I'll piece all three of these fucking segments together. It's really annoying. But I'm still gonna do it. I'm just gotta get through it. It's fucking hiccups. I'll probably just stop using Anchor, honestly, and just record it on my phone and release it myself. It's just easier that way. It'll just be easier that way. But this is annoying. Or maybe I'll just, what I'll do? I'll just set my phone to airplane mode or something when I do these from now on. Or I'll turn off the call, the cell tower shit, leave on the Wi-Fi or something. But, I was about to get in some good shit, and I kind of went on a rant on it already, but it wasn't recorded, so I don't know how deep I'm going to get back into it, how passionate. And honestly, you know what? Wasn't going to, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to fucking spark up this joint, take a couple puffs, and then we'll see what I want to do. That's nice. I just blew the smoke into the recorder to try to get you guys high. So I hope it worked. But yeah, man, all I was going on about is how the government's just controlling us through fear. And really the main way they do it by is putting us into groups. It's the only way you can do it, because they can't control the individual. I mean, they can't control me. I work for a corporate company. Not supposed to smoke weed, supposed to get drug tested. I smoke weed, don't give a fuck. They could drug test me, I'll fail. That's cool, whatever. Whatever, I'll tell them beforehand that I'll fail, and then they could suck my dick. It's whatever. That would suck, obviously. I don't want that to happen, but they can't control the individual on the daily basis. It's hard to convince somebody. If you sit and try to talk down with 100 individuals, it will be impossible to convince every single 100 of those individuals to agree with you on whatever the fuck you are talking about. Doesn't matter if you take 100 people, 100 random people. But if you separate people into groups on whether it's Republican, Democrat, white, black, gay, straight, whatever, East Coast, West Coast, blood, crip. It's just good by. It's literally just good guy versus bad guy. That's all it is. And everybody that's on a team thinks they're the good guy. And okay? Always. Unless you're a sick fuck and you know you're the bad guy. And you do bad shit, then fuck you. But they have to split us in these teams. When we do it ourselves, humans are designed to split in groups. It's the only way we've been able to function and survive for as long as we have. We are not the strongest thing in the animal kingdom by far. We weren't even the strongest Homo species. I think genius. Homo's the genius. But we're Homo sapiens. There's other Homo and then species related beings that existed that were human-like but not Homo sapien per se. There's bigger ones, stronger ones that would definitely, if we were in a war or one-on-one octagon, that one would win. The other would win. The Homo sapien most of the time would lose. But the fact is that the Homo sapien was very good at organizing itself in social structures by communicating, and we think being smarter than the other ones and just organizing and be able to recognize that we're a group and realize that, the people outside this group are bad, so we have to stay away from them, or we gotta starve off predators. That's how we survived forever. That's how nations have survived, and that's how kingdoms started. That's how Alexander the Great started, and he's like, everyone else outside of fucking my kingdom, is unholy or whatever, or he's just not living the best life, doesn't have freedom, so I'm gonna give them freedom by conquering their lands and ruling over them. What? How genius is that? Alexander the Great, he literally campaigned on the basis of freedom. I'm fighting for freedom and he fighted for democracy. He fights for democracy. He says, we want democracy throughout the world. That's what he wanted. And so what he did is he would go and conquer other people's lands. They didn't start a war with him. They didn't start fighting him first. No, he just ventured out to where they live and started blowing their shit up. And was like, hey, democracy, bitch. I rule you now. I'm telling you that you need to do democracy. But I'm the king. And, this land's mine, but democracy is cool. all the people elected me. If they didn't, I'd kill them. But, yeah, democracy. But, yeah, I'm your ruler now. What a genius. It's fucked up, but what a genius. The only way they can get us to believe in them and follow is separate into groups, because we're really good at it. I did it my entire life. I played sports. I played team sports. You're trying to beat the other team, and you will do anything possible to do it. And that's the basis of it. That's the basis of the human spirit and how we survived for hundreds of thousands of years and have been able to build homes and houses and banks and fucking credit unions and fucking, warehouses and grocery stores and skyscrapers and roads, buildings, tunnels, fucking elevators. Fucking the internet now. Something that if we just wiped out all technology, you'd never know the internet would exist. If you want to be able to tap into it, you come back 100 years from now, there's you could find a laptop and stuff, but maybe there'd be some files on it, but if you can't power it up, it's not going to connect to anything, because there is not going to be any internet, because there's no connection to it, and it would just be lost forever. Who knows? Hope that doesn't happen. But what I'm trying to get at is that they're playing these games with us. They're dividing us into teams, and they're genius for it, because if they were all on one team, if it wasn't split Republican, Democrat, if it wasn't like that, if it wasn't a Super Bowl of politics, the presidential election is just the Olympics of fucking politics, or the Super Bowl. Every 4 years is Olympics, but there's only one event. I guess there's this. I don't know. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a show. It's just a big show, honestly. And if they were all on one team and all organized and recognized on one team, hey, we're out to make ourselves better, our lifelong families better, such as like, the families we know of, like the Clintons, the Bushes, the Trumps, Kennedys, Roosevelts, Rockefellers, J.P. Morgan, I guess it was Morgan, all whatever these families are, these rich ass families that probably control everything, or basically everybody that's in politics or that's a career long politician getting paid by large industry. But they can, if they were all united under one team, okay, we're all united under the blanket of United States of America. We're all united under, one nation under God. Whether or not you believe in God, that's a whole other thing. But, that's how the country was initially founded. We believed we're all one team together, but now we're split into these two dynamically opposed, Republican and Democrat. And that's because the people in power recognize that the only way to get the masses and the people to actually follow along, instead of just like, so when there's just one team, as the common folk, we only have one team to attack, and it's everybody in the system. So we attack the entire system instead of attacking, an individual, or, there's one bad individual in there. Instead of attacking, within this one, if they're combined into one group, instead of attacking one bad person, we would attack the entire system and say everything is fucked up, because, it is. They recognize if you split it into two, the people will align themselves on one or the other teams. For the most part, there will be people in the middle that sway back and forth, and those are the people who will campaign every 4 years to try to vote for. There's no way a third party will get in, because we'll spend tons of money to make sure it's just either one of us. But either way, we're going to be able to continue to do whatever the fuck we want to do, because that's how we want it, So when you split up into two, most people, that don't really think for themselves or like to look at both sides of things, even myself, I'd say I lie, and a lot of times this is inherited. I'd say I lie a little more conservatively as far as economics, but I'm definitely socially liberal. I feel like you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want. Anything. Like, don't even try me on that. But I think we shouldn't be spending our money in foreign wars and shit for no reason besides taking shit or whatever. What is the basis of war? There's no, I've yet to heard a good reason besides, they're going to kill us first, which I guess you could argue at any time, ever, but it hasn't worked. I don't know. Most people get split up. They don't get split up. They split themselves. They decide for themselves. You make them think that they are deciding for themselves on which team they will be on. And then they just fight each other. And, they'll just talk shit to each other in bars. And that actually separates them further and further. And they don't talk about anything. And then if they do, they just clash heads and, become enemies. And so while the common folk are just shouting at each other in bars and shit, or fucking, relatives or friends or those on Twitter, people in power are just fucking laughing, fucking, getting ready to do whatever. Getting ready to fucking start a new war or some shit. Who knows? Keep the system rolling. We gotta keep producing these weapons and shit. We gotta keep making money. And that's how we roll. That's how this country rolls. We are the world's biggest, probably, weapons distributor. Definitely. There's no, maybe. It's definitely. That's how we make our money. And it's kind of badass, but it's kind of fucked up. But we'll always have the best shit, so, nobody can fuck with us. Yes, we're fucking with other people's lives. But, I feel very grateful to be an American. I fucking love it here. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the world. I fucking love this country. Because, at the end of the day, as an individual, it doesn't fucking matter, man. It does not matter to me. I don't give a fuck. As long as I get to do my shit, hang out, play video games, be a fucking loser, talk shit, have nobody listen, smoke weed every now and then, watch fights, drink a beer, hang out with homies, every now and then fuck some chicks. I don't care, man. It's awesome here. And I think that's the only vibe I want to send out, man. We just need to connect on each other. And yes, our system's fucked up a little bit, but okay. Alright, whatever. What do you want me to do about it? I'm not gonna do anything about it, nor do I want to. I don't want that pressure, man. Don't want that pressure, man. I don't know. I just want to live my life and experience things that the world has out there. The things that the humans have created, that we have self-created. Who cares what the powers to be are, or what created this, or this society. But there's some really great things in the society, and I intend to find out and try to experience them and live this life to the fullest. And, even though it took 3 separate recordings, I accidentally got paused, throughout this episode. I think that's a good note to end on. I feel pretty good about that. And, I love America. God bless America. And, yeah. Love you guys. Love everybody out there in the world, in the universe, every being. If there are other beings, every living thing, even the chicken that I eat. I love you. I know I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry I have to eat you, because you give me nourishment and you allow me to live. And I like it. And I know your life was probably terrible, trapped in a cage and slaughtered. But yeah, now that's a very positive note. I know it sucked, but I love you too, even though I eat you. So good. I might cook some chicken now. Alright, love you guys. Episode 4 has come to an end.